Hi, I'm Kristen Clark, and in just a second, Cara Nance is going to pop on. Technical difficulties again today, and we're just going to roll with it. Today, we are talking about intellection. As oh, there she is. Hold on. So today, we're talking about intellection as a top strength. Hey, Cara, I've already introduced you while we were getting you popped back on. So, we're talking about energizing your career through strengths. And Cara, for intellection, give us that visual.
All right. So yes, I'm not sure if you shared that it's number 34 out of 34 for both of us.
I did not. Yeah.
I just want to, offer our truth right from the start. So appreciate your patience, everybody, as we go through this one. So the visual that I came up with was a professor. I almost felt a little too easy. So to stretch a little bit further, is a professor of philosophy, and also in honor of everybody getting back to school. So good luck, everybody, especially you educators out there. So
yeah, and as we know, I always give the true Gallup definition of intellection. And I'm going to give that in a second because my technical stuff is not working on my phone now either. But
one of those days, it's all good.
It is. But I always include part of that in my title. And bottom line, people that are high in intellection appreciate intellectual discussions. They just love digging deep and really kind of peeling back the onion and talking about all aspects of a certain subject.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's just about digging in and not necessarily right or wrong, right? It's just the exploration of thought that really, again, as we tune in, we're talking about what energizes us and what truly brings joy. So it's for everybody who has intellection theme high friends around. If you might be thinking like, man, they just keep going, they just keep digging. Like, yeah, because that's what's sparking joy for them.
So. I know, but the beauty of that is they are asking the questions, the why, and let's pull it apart. And why would you go this direction versus that direction? What does that do for you? Just the neat way that they have to ask those questions and pull things out of other people is just really amazing.
Yeah, said with full respect and love. It almost is like being around an adult toddler. Like the toddler's like, why? Like, I love that because we get to learn together. Like, why is that? So yes. So thank you, Intellection theme, Frank, for taking us to the next dimension of thought.
Yeah. So, Cara, how do you see intellection showing up in work?
So shout out to our friends, the Cascade Strengths reports. Once again, went back to the database, and sure enough, within my data collection of humans who I have both known in the past and current clients, they are all, each one of them are in secondary education, academia, post-secondary education and academia. So at the collegiate level, and I just got a hoot out of that. But of course, you're all in academia. You've got intellection theme high. You're in one of the best environments for being able to just have really deep, thoughtful conversations about whatever topic is truly in your heart space. So,
right.
How about you?
So, I had a hard time with really driving down into like one type of person that I see with high intellection. And even in the, when you read a little bit deeper into the Gallup explanations of intellection, they speak to the fact that people that are high in intellection, their intellection really kind of is, whatever their strengths are around it is where they tend to spend the most of their time. So for instance, if they're high intellection and high relationship building type domains, they're probably going to be more intellectual about relationships and people and that kind of stuff versus maybe somebody that's high on the strategic side of it.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that it can show up as all of our strengths can, let's be honest here, but I really feel like intellection can show up in so many ways that it was hard for me to just pinpoint, one type of career.
Yeah, versatile comes to mind. Just the word versatile and multi multi-optional.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were going to ask, if you were high in intellection and you were going to ask for certain types of activities within work, what would you ask for?
Yeah, I'm thinking so across industry, applicable, a workplace book study or a book club, maybe a mastermind, right? Just carving out that space and creating that community to have those really deep conversations and explorations. How about for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, and I do think that's really important for people high in intellection is to make sure that you're finding those other people that are willing to go deep with you on a subject, because not everybody is. Let's face it, you know, other like quite honestly, maybe us having it both really low, we're probably not the best candidates to go. Let's have a really deep conversation.
Right, and all the more reason why I don't know if you find yourself in the same space, but why I love being around my friends with, you know, again, powerful partnerships, because they bring experiences into my world that I wouldn't naturally gravitate to, but when they're offering, I'm like, for sure, that's actually sounds like a lot of fun. I would have never thought to do that, you know.
Right. Let's try. Yeah. And I agree with you. It is interesting to watch them at work. So I kind of think of things to raise your hand at is, let's say at your work, they're going to do some type of a think tank around like a big project, or maybe when you're launching a project, if you're the head of that project, pulling in somebody with high intellection, or obviously we're saying let's ask for those roles if you're high in intellection, but getting involved early on in a project. And then it kind of, I would also say, be cool to have raise your hand in like when they hit certain milestones to again kind of come in and help them form different thoughts and see of different ways to move forward with a project. I even think maybe writing white papers. You brought up earlier, if you're high in communication, writing blogs and just, letting other people in on that deep thinking that is so natural for you.
Yes, yes. You, and as with all of our themes, right? All 34, the gift that you bring by really letting it shine through you those just very well might be those moments where you're like, really? It's not all that special. Yes, it is. It is very, it is, you definitely have a gift, and we appreciate when you are vulnerable and allow for the rest of us to be a part of it. So.
Yes, because I can't say this enough, and I say it to my clients all the time. Other people do not think the way you think, and it truly is a gift and something unique that you bring to the table. So I'm thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, guys, we are here to help you raise your hand and use your gifts in your work. So if you're high in an election, again, since Cara and I are not, we would love comments and your feedback on how that election plays out for you day to day, whether it's in your work or at your play.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in.